Hi guys, I'm just about to do a little bit of a training program. I've been asked by quite a few people, agents obviously in the team, that are looking at this whole non-face-to-face concept and how do we fill out PDFs. So again, this is something new as opposed to printing off the documents and filling out the paperwork. I thought I'd step you through the process of how I do that so that you have a little bit more understanding. Again, remember, this is a trial and error and practice for you, so do it, play around with it, get a little bit more familiar with it so that you're more comfortable, and that'll make life a little bit easier for you, especially with the non-face-to-face business that we're doing going forward, because obviously we want to be able to pre-populate some of the information that we're doing for clients to help them out and get things moving. So I'm just going to turn off my camera because looking at myself on the computer screen gives me anxiety, and I want to make sure I stay focused through this. So I'm just going to turn my own video off for myself so that we can focus on my screen. So that being said, right now, I have two screens open. And again, a lot of you work on one screen. I've become very accustomed to working on two screens to make my life a little bit easier. So in order to be able to manipulate and add typing to documents, I use a program called Adobe. And I know that most of you are very familiar with that program. So again, using Adobe, you'll see on the bottom of the screen here, that little red logo type picture that allows you to do things. I'm just going to close out the two documents that I had been working on before. And again, we're looking to open up PDFs. So when you're saving PDFs, in most cases, your fillable documents that you would have are scanned or copies on your laptop and or computer saved as PDFs. So if I want to work on a file, for example, under S.O.S. So I'm just going to pull up a document folder. Then I've got various forms in here to open one up, just so that you can kind of see what I'm working with. So I'll open up a document that obviously we would need for a lot of our clients. Bear with me while I find one here. So again, you have to have them stored in a spot that makes sense to you. I've created a folder for myself that makes life a little bit easier for me under Dropbox. Some of you like Dropbox, some of you don't like Dropbox. Again, it completely depends on your program. So I'm going to use the advisor disclosure document that we're all very familiar with. And I'm going to make that into a larger screen so that again, you guys can see the screen on my computer. So you can see how I've already manipulated my document and it's pre-filled for myself. So if I was looking to make any changes to this document, then I would consider doing a different one. So I'm going to actually go into S.O.S Financial Group, which I have on my screen ready to go. So I log in, and under the broker resources tab, if you see on the screen there, on my secondary screen, if you look on broker resources and rep downloads, you can actually look at the presentation binder or compliance. So if I look under compliance, you'll see the advisor disclosure document. I would strongly recommend for you guys to pre-populate your form, and just to save yourself work for future, simply because time saved is in your best interest, especially in this particular situation. So if I'm looking at the advisor disclosure, as long as I have the Adobe Acrobat Reader DC version, so you'll probably will have to update at least, make sure that it's up to date. As far as a program, do some updates if you need to. I can now manipulate the document. And that manipulation of the document is over here on the right-hand side of the screen. If you scroll down on the right, you'll see something that's called Fill and Sign. So if you click on Fill and Sign, it loads up another page that says, do you want to fill the document and sign it, which allows me to actually sign the form? Or do I want to send for a request for signatures? The request for signatures is actually one of two programs that I'm using for you guys right now to help to send documents out for your clients to sign. Some of you have already used that process with me, which has worked out. It's just a little bit trial and error for the clients to understand what they're doing. So you're going to click on the Fill and Sign. And when you click on the fill and sign, you can see at the very top, all of a sudden you've got a different menu, and you can see where there's letters for typing. There's an X, a check mark, a circle, just so you, again, on the typing, you click on that, and anywhere on the screen, see how it highlights all of a sudden AB, ready to go. So I pick a spot right here, and I want to type April Simkus. And again, I'm just showing you as an example. So it's there. Now it's done. However, if I find that, oh, I misspelled or I did something, I can just delete it back off. Okay, so it's fairly simple. So I scroll down to the document and I want to scroll down here, the client's name. I go here and we'll call it Bob and Sally Smith. And I'm going to purposely mistype it just so that you can see how easy it is. I'm like, oh, darn, I misspelled their name. I scroll back on, click, make sure it opens up the block for you. And then I make the correction. And I think I'd like to make it a little bit bigger. Again, under the program, this larger A allows you to make those words as big as you want. Clearly, you don't want it to be that big, but you can. Again, your choice. So I kind of like to make it a little bit bigger so that it's more fillable. And then as you scroll to the edge of that block that you're typing, you'll see the little arrows. That allows you to move that block anywhere you want on the screen. So it allows you to line it up. Those who are a little bit OCD like I am, I like to make sure that it's a clean looking document. So again, Bob and Sally Smith are the client's names for this form. Have they been informed of and understand, etc. And now I need to put in my name. I swear I spell my name incorrectly all the time in typing these days. And again, so I'll type it in, but I want to make it a little bit larger. So I use that larger again. I can make it larger, smaller, adjust it so that it fits. Make sure it fits into the block properly, that I like it. And I'm done. Okay. On the client sign part, again, this is where we're going to be sending it off. I urge you, however, on the signatures, I'm going to get them to fill in a date. But for you, you can pre-sign it. So I've actually attached a signature on here. Nirmala and I have been working on her contracting. So this actual spot would be a spot for initials, but I have Nirmala's signature to work on her contracting with her. And I need to sign her contracting as well. So I have both their signatures on there, just so that you're aware. But this is my signature so that I'm able to. So if I want to click and sign, I want to sign my name on this form. I can see how I have my signature, and I can put it wherever I like. This is where I'm going to advisor sign again, and we'll say today's date is the 29th, which is when I'm working on it, and I fill out and I'm done. So if you're sending this document to me, I would appreciate that you do your part on the advisor part for the signatures, because again, we're sending it to them to sign. Does that make sense? You can pre-sign it, saving me having to request you to sign the document as well. When we go to the back of the top, obviously, this is the most important stuff. I got to tell you, a lot of advisors miss this section on the advisor disclosure. This is my opportunity to let you know that you need to remember this section. You got to fill out who you're contracted with. So if you go back up to here, you can use an X. So maybe if you like to use the X, I like to use the X. Some people like to use the check mark, whatever works for you, to mark that spot. If you guys can see that. Oh, if you put it in the wrong spot, delete it. Again, you can correct anything because you haven't saved anything at this point. So my preference is the X. So I click on the X, and everywhere I'm contracted with, again, my OCD-ness wants to make sure that it's in the block. And so I mark off the contracts that I have. Oh, I clicked on BMO by mistake. It's not authorized yet. But CPP, Foresters is there. Faith Life. Specialty. See how I could move that around because I couldn't actually make it go away out of my visual sight. And now I'm done. So all my contracts are marked. So I'm looking at this week. This is an advisor disclosure, all set to go. I look to the bottom to make sure that I spell the client's name properly, and it's all set. My name is on here as the advisor. I actually signed it because I could upload my signature there. So I'm going to give you an example of uploading your signature. I'm going to delete this one of Nirmala's. So under here, it will say signature, where it says where my signature is. So it would be the same process. You would just add initials or add signature. So you can click on here, and if you don't have a signature, you can just draw one, which again, my drawing, little on the crazy side, but it's there. Okay, if you like that. Again, it wants me to put an initial on there. If I don't, I can add initials by image if I've saved something. This is something that you can do on your iPhone or iPad. You can sign on your iPhone or iPad and save it as a picture on your phone. That's something that if you need help with, we can walk you through one-on-one on the phone because it's a little bit different. It's kind of a little test of the process, but again, it's easier to upload. Or you can just type it. You can pick and choose a style, change the style. If you like if it to be like that, I can just apply it that way for your initials. Okay. Does that make sense? So again, I'm good to go. I got to get out of that. Back to the letters. I'm all set. So I'm all set with this advisor disclosure document, and it's all filled out. That, with it being all set, I now would go up to File, and I save it as Save As, not Save, because we don't want to save over our original one, unless, of course, you're setting it up as your template. But Save As, I save all mine in Scan folder, so it would be your client's name, so Bob and Sally Smith, Advisor Disclosure. Okay, so we're all set. You've saved that form. So now we've saved it and we're out of the editing program. So close that, close out of the editing of that file, exit, and we're going to go. Now we go into where we've saved our document just to double check. I'm a big advocate of double checking in case it didn't save properly. And I look at that form to make sure, yep, that's exactly what I want it to do. Then, of course, right now in the process, unless you have your own signing program in place, you now would compose an email. I'm going to email myself just so that you can see how it works. And this is going to Bob and Sally Smith, Advisor Disclosure. And this is where I've asked you to say, hi to me, please email this disclosure for Bob and Sally Smith to sign. Their email is, again, under the email program, we'll use one of my other emails just to make life a little bit easier. asimkus.sos@gmail.com. Actually, I'm going to put that asimkus. Just let me change that because I want to choose one of my other email accounts if I can remember how to log into it. But again, you're going to set up whatever email address they have given you because we want it to go to their email account so that they can sign it and send it back to me. So this email, send it to aprils.wfg@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm all set, and then I'm going to, of course, attach this file. Again, in your email, if you're not familiar how to attach, it's right at the bottom of the email options. Right there, you'll see Attach Files, and then you'll look for the file that you want to attach. That's it, very at the top. Open, make sure it's all good to go, and I click Send. So once it comes to me in the email, this is where I'm going to set it up as well. And just so you have an idea, it doesn't take me that long, but it's really important for you to send it to me with the particulars that I need, like their name, their full name, obviously, because I need to be able to set it up for them. So, hi, April, please email. You can see I received the email, so I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to download this file. Okay, so I need to download it in order to manipulate it for the signatures. So I'm back into that screen again. And so this is where I'm going to send it and use that same button that we used for the other document side, what you've set up. And I'm going to use the fill and sign, just so that you have an idea of what I'm doing on this end. Once you guys decide if you wish to take on the financial side of paying for this, you're welcome to do so and do it for yourself. But right now, I'm just trying to help with saving out the cash flow for everybody to be able to opt to do that. And again, it's complicated at first until you know what you're doing. So I'm going to request signatures for this particular document. And according to the email that I got, the email from you as well, from the advisor, myself, obviously, the email was April's WFG. That's the email I have to send it to. So I'm just going to copy that email and I'm going to add it in here as a recipient. Sometimes copy doesn't like to work for me. So aprils.wfg@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm all set. If you were getting multiple signatures on here, then I would add the email of the other person on here. Just for show, I'm just going to get one signature done so that you kind of see what's happening. But if it was Bob and Sally, I would need an email address for both of them so that I can get them both to sign the document. Okay? Now I'm going to specify on that document where they have to sign. And again, this is where I've got to make sure that I'm doing it technically properly, because in trial and error, I had to do a couple of corrections. So I scroll down to the document. Obviously, I know where the signatures have got to be. So this is one signature. This is actually saying, do you want them to type their name to verify signature, or would you like them to sign it? So I'm an advocate for signing because it proves that they are who they are. This allows them to sign their screen. Okay, so I choose for them to sign, and now it says signature there. See that signature on the screen? And then I want to put another spot by the date because I want them to date it. And that's where that extra little 3-dot pull down menu is, and set as signature date field. Okay, we want to set that spot there. Okay, so again, I like to make it a little bit larger so that there's no confusion. You can, again, I can either set it up 2 different ways, but now the document is good to go. This is only 1 page. Obviously, if there are a lot of pages, then I would have to do more. Okay, so I've got the signature spot, I've got the date spot, and I'm all set. So now I'm going to send that document out, and it's going to go to the email account that we've selected. Bob and Sally Smith Advisor Disclosure has been sent successfully. So now I can close out of here. And the reason why I can close out of here is because I know that it's going to email me. During the program, it actually emails me a copy. So I'm just going to open up my email account so you can see what I receive from you guys. The actual system tells me that, hey, we've sent this off. So your agreement has been sent for the signature. Adobe sign has been sent to Bob and Sally Smith at this email for signature. Once it's signed, it will come back, and all parties will receive a final PDF copy of this email. So I like that because now you don't have to send another email, but it's a verification that they know what they're signing, and they're also getting a copy of it right away. So that being, while that's happening, I'm just going to log in on my phone to be able to do the email, the signature on my phone. And on my phone, it should show up momentarily once it does. And so when I'm looking at this signature document, if it was me who was doing the sign, I'm now receiving an email, and it actually says review and sign in big bold. You can't miss it. It's a dot. Big bold button for them to push. So now when I open up the screen, it's just loading up on my cell phone. I know you can't see on my cell phone at the moment, but it's loading it up. And it actually pre-populates that page, and that's highlighted in a dark blue. And they just have to click on that spot. And it asks me and directs me on my phone, please turn your phone sideways so that you can sign. And so I'm just signing that now with my finger. Again, lots of practice. I do a lot of electronic applications. And also, it wants me to enter my name below because it wants to verify that I am that person that's signing. Oh, actually, I should go back and sign it as, I'm just going to sign it as myself, even though I'm not Bob Smith. Just because, again, I'm not going to sign somebody else's name. And we are good to go. And so on that form, it actually already populated the date of when I signed. So I don't actually have to type in the date, which is kind of a blessing for the client. Once I click on finish, hopefully now you'll see to be able to get an email and how quickly I get the email back. It says I'm all set and I'm all done. I can now download a copy if I wish as the client. But again, I just want to let you know. So now that that's the case, I'm just going to double check. Now I have received an email, Adobe Sign, that says Bob and Sally Smith advisor disclosure between April is signed and filed, meaning that a copy is kept, but it has already been signed. So now opening up that, now I've got an advisor disclosure. Yes, I wrote in, I signed my name, as I said, because I'm not signing Bob Smith, but just so that you see, April Simkus, March 29th, there's my signature on my phone, and here's the details of the document that I signed, verifying that I did it, and I already have received it as a client, a copy of that, and you as the advisor are receiving that. I know a couple of you have already tried that and gotten one, no problem. Just wanted to clear out that email unread. And so it's really quite that simple. So again, it's fairly easy to do. It's just a matter of practicing. So for me, I at first I started looking at it, trying to think, okay, what can I do and how can I make this work and doing forms. So for myself, as I said, I set my client folder up already. So the privacy statement, you can see on my screen, I've saved it as privacy statement April Simkus PDF. And I've pre-populated it already because it was a blank form that's part of the program that's on the back office. And now I don't have to worry. It's already pre-populated with my name. It's got my name and my address on there. Again, ready to go. Okay, so now when I have to send one out to my client, it's all ready to go for add-ons and what have you. And the same thing happens with our fillable data collection document that, again, Jonathan worked really hard on putting together. Once you get your FGA fillable all done, you then can do the same thing and fill those pages out. So if you have any questions, and again, I know I'm just recording this as a training webinar for you to get a good idea of how it works. But I wanted to send this out hopefully as an educational video. I put myself back on the screen because I'm just finishing up my recording. And I hope you guys have a little bit of an understanding or a better understanding of how you can type on a PDF and fill out that information for your clients to make it a little bit easier. I urge you to fill out those documents ahead of time to make life a little bit easier as well. So for now, this is just one quick video that you are welcome to look at and read through, test yourself, practice. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Jonathan or I. Again, this is something that we've been doing for a long time to make ourselves easier and to save killing trees, but more so has become very important in our whole new dynamic now that we're doing non-face-to-face business with clients. So I want to try and make sure that you're all still remaining compliant, but then you also have the tools to continue your business. So for now, I'll let you go. Thank you again for listening, guys. I hope this was informational and helped you with the whole process of how to fill a PDF document with the information that you need prior to sending it to me to send out for signatures. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye for now.